Hey guys, so welcome to day 18, and I decided I was gonna do some sewing of the shorts that I said I was gonna make. So it is basically the dress shorts. So I did finish it. This camera's kind of dark. There you go. So it's just a dress shorts. I'll probably do a little close up. It is very nice, but I can't decide how I want to close it. So option is the easy one, is to just do a basic black button. But then I think the way the front of the pants is, I think a hook would be better. The shorts is, but the hook I have in here way too small. It's way too small, so I'm gonna have to pick up. I think I prefer the hook. I think the buttons, I'm just not feeling the buttons. I think the hook would be better. I think that's what I'm gonna do, is just get the hook. But I thought I had bigger hooks, and I feel like I do. Where it is, I don't know, because I look into my container here and they're not in here. But anyway, but it's done. And so today I'm going to talk about some sewing, beginner sewing stuff, because there's people that ask me questions about that, who wants to start sewing next year. And then I'm going to share with you some crafting things in this video and where I'm at with my reading. So I wanted to just give you a rundown of what I'm sewing right now. And then, yeah, so I'm going to jump on the treadmill and do about 30 minutes cardio. And then we're going to be chatting a little bit about some sewing stuff for beginners, as well as crafting stuff. Yeah, that's how we're starting today, guys. Hey guys, so I'm back. All right, so I was going to do a whole bunch, but I think I'm going to stick to what I'm reading, sewing stuff, and then we're gonna do something else the following day, because that's gonna take a long, and this video is gonna be too long, and you know my internet don't like me right now. So what am I reading? Cousin Rachel. Cousin Rachel's the bomb. I am loving this. This is suspense. This is classic suspense. This is basically this man. He's almost like 25, and his guardian, who's all happens to be his cousin, much older, you know, bachelor man, went out of the country, and all of a sudden he found some woman and got married. Then he got sick. Then he died. So there's that whole mystery surrounding the woman, and also mystery around the death scene, being that he wrote a letter and his letter was a little bit concerning. So I'm about 116 pages in. Now initially I was gonna bring this to vacation with me. Not doing that. Not doing that, because I need something lighter and also quicker, because my attention span is very limited when I'm with my parents. I either want to sleep or watch TV. That's it. So I was like, you know what, let me finish this before next week, before I see my family, and take something that's much more lighter, and then hopefully I will probably just return this. This is also the last book of the year for the subscriber pick, so I also want to just have a video closing out that situation as well. So yeah, it's coming. I'm reading Rutgers. I'm almost done. It is very good. It is juicy. Absolutely juicy. I cannot wait to talk about that book and this author, coming soon. All right, so let's do this video where I talk about sewing for beginners, and this is a question that someone asked me, and I wanted to give her a video just to encouragement. So this is for people who want to start doing some sewing project in 2025. First thing you need to do, you're not going to start until you do it, is get a machine. Just get a machine. Do not need to get anything expensive. I've been using the same machine for 3 years. It is a Singer heavy duty, and it is worth the money. I paid $179. I believe it is still around that price, give and take $200. You can get it anywhere. Michael's have it, Walmart has it, Amazon has it, so other some machine places have it. It is entry level. It is not computerized. It is entry level, but it is literally heavy duty for a reason. It can handle everything. I've sewn the bags that I make on there. I've sewn denim. I've sewn my jacket. I've sewn lightweight. I've sewn other things. Key thing you will learn, because I did not know this the first year I got it, because I thought I could use any needle on anything. Each fabric that you use is going to require a different kind of needle. So you need stretch needle. You might need heavy duty needle. You might need denim needle. You might need leather needle. You might need I think there's ball pen. I have a bunch of needles. I have a literally kit full of different kind of needles, and I change my needles out frequently, which I did not do the first year I had. I was using a needle longer than I should. Technically, you should use a new needle for every project that you do, especially if you're doing heavy duty sewing. I would suggest you change the needles out. Needles are not expensive at all. You can get it in bulk, and it's not going to cost you a lot of money. Literally, it is the cheapest thing you can get. That and depends on the thread. Now, I would say to start off, don't get caught up in some of the other things that I now realize that I must do. Meaning the thread. The thread matters. Oh, it matters, child. Do not get a bunch of the cheap ones that you see everywhere. I have so many of them now that I use them for art and craft. I rarely ever use them to sew unless I can't find the color thread that I want. I'm not going to go into what threads I recommend yet, because I think it doesn't matter, because it's beginners, so you don't need to. You need to get affordable things to practice before you get to a level where you can make stuff to wear. Perfection. Do not be concerned too much with perfection, because you're not going to be perfect the first time around. My early stuff, there's so much flaws in it. I look at it now, I'm like, what the heck? Because one, I was not going by measurement. I was going by size. So I was literally making things, oh, I'm this size when I'm in the store, but the pattern size is totally different than what you would see in the store. So you have to go by your measurements. So know your body, know your measurements. So most importantly, you really want to do your bust. Very important. You also want to do your waist, where your belly button is, but you also want to do above it here as well. That doesn't matter for people like me with big boobs. You want to do your hip. You want to know your shoulder length as well. Again, depends on what you're making. It matters, because everybody's shoulder is not the same. The reason why bust size is so important as well is depends on what you're making. If you're making a top, if you are busty like me, it's gonna raise it. So you may have to add an inch or two to the bottom of a shirt or whatever you're making. I've done that a lot. Now, normally dresses, I don't necessarily have to worry about that. But if I'm making a sweater top, all the sweater tops that I was making last month, I had to add about 1.5 inches to all of them. Again, I did not do that the first one I made. I don't know what was I thinking. And I made it and it looked like a midget on me, and I was just like, absolutely not. So I had to add, because again, you have to keep in account the more busty you are, the higher your shirt's gonna be, and you're gonna have to adjust. You're gonna have to learn to do a lot of adjustment, because everybody's body is not the same. If you have short torso, that's gonna matter, because that means you're gonna end up with a lot of fabric in areas because your torso is short. These are things that you can learn as you go, but you can also purchase books. I've been gifted. I'm fortunate to be gifted quite a few sewing books, so I do read them. I also watch videos of professionals or people from different countries. I love watching an old Italian man. I love watching an old Italian man sew. I could watch them all. I could watch an old Italian man all day. They are crafty at sewing shirts and showing suits, pants. That's their thing, and they show it. I also feel like Asian women also have been impressive when it comes to certain sewing technique as well. um Another thing is there is multiple technique you can use to get to the final results. It's all about preference and taste. But it comes with time. So you can't get frustrated and beat yourself up because you didn't get that project right the first time. It is not going to be that easy. You're going to have failures. You're going to have to learn. You're still going to learn over time. It's 3 years in the game and I'm still learning. I am still learning. Now, I had a Mate 9, and let me show you. So I had a Mate 9. So let me tell you what was on my Mate 9. So on my Mate 9, I put zipper fly. And this was the first time I learned how to do that. I was so happy about the results. I've made the first pants I made. I had a slight mistake on the where the fly was over. Second time around, I was super happy about that. And then I've made several pants since. I've also made jumpsuit with zipper fly as well. So I got better. But I would never say I perfected it. I still need to work on the top stitch, and how it just comes with the curve. And I noticed when I was watching recently someone, they made their own, and I think I need to do that, because even with the shorts I made today, I feel like the more I look at it, I'm like, it could have been a little bit, the curve could have been a little nicer. But again, these are things that you're just going to have to learn over time, and you get better. Jacket multiple style that I did this year. I'm a jacket girl. I'm loving the process. It does take a while. I do take minimum at least a week or two to make a jacket, because I find that I have to take my time. I have to stop, come back to it, that kind of deal. Button down shirt and dress, I've made several of that, no issue. But I also learned how to do snaps. That was fun. Cardigan, that was a fail. I made that early in the year and I did not like how it looked. It was very bulky. I still don't understand what I did wrong, but it's something I will come back to. Denim pants and skirt, made quite a few of those, but I do want to get back to making a traditional denim pants. I've done the vintage style, love it, wear it all the time. I think I've worn 5-6 times since I made it. But I want to be a little bit more classic with the denim, so that's something I'm gonna revisit. Circle skirt and dress, no big deal with that. Sportswear, I have not, but I do plan on doing it. Probably New Year's Eve, and wear it New Year's Day to work out in, just to say I did it. But I have the fabric, so yeah. Jumpsuit, I've made several of those. It's like my favorite thing to wear in the summertime. Oh, love it. And draft my own pattern. So I've not done a full draft of my own pattern. However, I have hacked a lot of pattern. My friend's birthday dress, hacked that, created things in the bottom. My own birthday dress, where I made a mistake and cut it short and come up with my own balloon bottom in the bottom. I love that I can make a mistake on something and find ways creatively to fix it. And that's something I'd absolutely enjoying that process right now. But I do still want to get back into like completely draft a dress from scratch, which I've done that, but I've not put it on a pattern. Like I've done the draping situation where I made the dress on my body. I put the material on and I literally was cutting it and making it on my body. And I did that in the early year of learning how to sew. But I didn't do a pattern. So if I was to try to recreate it, it wouldn't happen. So I want to be able to draft my own, but still create a pattern that I can revisit that pattern and make it again, because I have a physical pattern. So I want to do that for next year. But yeah, again, if you are not sure, like, join a sewing group. There's so many of them on Instagram. There's different social group that you can follow, and they always making stuff, and they doing their lives, and they will have like a pattern. Everybody's making the same pattern, but use different fabric to make it look different, make it your own. But it's fun because you're seeing what they're making and you want to make it too. A lot of pattern I buy, I will see somebody else with it and I want to create it for myself to see what it looks like on me. And once you get to the point where you're comfortable and you're making something that you're going to wear it. Wear it. That first year, I was scared dead to wear my stuff. I don't know why I thought if I wear it, it would look like I made it. And I got over that. I got over that to the point where I'm like, I was digging up stuff that I wore, that I made early on, and see, okay, can I get away with wearing it? And I was wearing it because I felt like I made it. I put the effort. I'm going to wear it. And no one actually knew it was, you know, I made it. There was moments where people like, oh, I like that. And I'll be like, oh, I made it. That felt good. That felt good. It's the best experience to tell somebody you made something. And I am like, you know, I'm enjoying the journey, and I think you will enjoy the journey as well. Do not be hard on yourself, and you always going to constantly learn. I'm forever learning something. I've made these fanny bags so many times, and I already learned a new way of doing certain stitch on there, and I am like, oh, I'm getting the stitch game down pat now. You know, like, but again, it takes practice, and the more you do something, the better you will get. And again, take your time. That's another thing. You have to enjoy the journey. Take your time. Don't feel like you have to be in a rush. I mean, if you're like me now, where you go into an event and you might last minute, you want to rush and make a dress, that's different. But if you're making something, like I enjoy making jackets, so I literally purposely take my time to make my jackets, because that's something that I always want to be able to do, was to make a jacket, to make a coat. And I was able, now that I know how to do it, I literally would drag and take my time. If I get the sleeve done today, that is it. Tomorrow I'm just going to do something else. I also time myself, because I am a morning sewer, and I know a lot of people who prefer sewing at night. I wish I was a night sewer, but I cannot stand sewing at night, because I need to have really good lighting, and I feel like the artificial light that I'm using at night is not doing it for me. I need to see the stitches really good. So I like to sew during the daytime. I'm an early morning person. I get up in the morning, and that's when I want to sew. But you might be a night person, so you have to find whatever works for you, whatever you know, time of the day is perfect for you, and sew. And you know, get you some music, have you some headphones if you need to, and enjoy the journey, and wear your stuff, show your stuff. If you have social media, post it. I'm always posting in my stories of my progress if I'm making something, and it feels good sharing, like, okay, I'm doing this, and you know, and you will get better, and you will be on that level. I want to eventually be on the level of people who've been doing it for 10-15 years, but I know I'm not on there, and I'm okay with that. I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna get there one day, and I know that I'm gonna look back at these early years and appreciate the process of learning how to sew, especially since it is self-taught. I didn't go to class for this. I didn't go to school for this. So but yeah, so hopefully this video helps. And hopefully you know, if you have any more questions about sewing, let me know. I did a video before where I talk about basic tools, you know, the measuring tape, the scissors, certain things. Again, the needles are more important as well. That different foot, the zipper foot is, you know, I didn't even know. I think this year I found out there was a different zipper foot for invisible zipper. I didn't even know that till this year, and I had to buy one. And when I used it the first time, I was like, oh, because I was using a regular zipper foot, not realizing that it's not going to give you the same effect as the invisible. The invisible zipper foot made a big difference when I was doing projects that had invisible zipper. Yeah, and I just learned that this year. So you're always going to learn something new. You're always going to learn something new. And there's always going to be somebody coming up with different technique and tricks to do stuff to save time and to make things neater and more professional looking. So just know you're going to always learn something new. So, all right, guys, I am excited to talk about this. So I could go on and on, but we're going to end this here. Another thing, quick thing I want to say is get you a journal. Get you a journal. I made this journal, but you can just buy a notebook and put in your project so you can look back on it. And you know, for me, I had when I just got my sewing machine in 2021, and these are the first projects that I made. So this is a skirt that I made, and I put my little notes, and you know, skirts are over here. I put my little notes of how I felt, and over here I made this top. It was a fail, but I put it on there. So you make it, and then it just changes over time. When you start looking at the things you make now, you're just like, oh my god, look how my first time working with knit. This was my first time working with knit, and this was back in 2022. No, 2023, last year. My first time working with knit and learning how to use zigzag stitch. And now look at it, that most of my stuff I sewed this year is knit. But just to know that this was my first project and how it looks. And I wore this. I got dressed and I wore this. I think I went to the supermarket or something, and I wore this dress knowing, now I look back on it, this is really for the beach. But I didn't care. I was so proud of myself that I made this sweater dress and used knit for the first time. So get your journal, track your progress, track the things you're doing, and I promise you, you're gonna look back on your journey and you're gonna be like, I did it. So get that machine. Get that machine. Get that machine. Get that machine. All right, guys. I will link the machine I have if anybody's want to look at it. You want to get that because that's the only thing I could think of. Yeah, because I think is 40. I don't even remember what number mine is. But yeah, but get a machine and start. Make your little tote bag. Make you a coin bag. Just start small and get big. And if you are gonna sew next year, follow me on social media. Tag me. Say hey, share your stuff. So I love seeing people sewing, what people sewing. I'm always watching people sewing their stuff and I love it. So all right guys, so I'm gonna end this video here. Thanks for watching, and you know, give me some feedback. Let me know how you feel, and if you are sewist, are you interested, let me know your feelings about it. And also, if you've been doing it for years, let me know how you felt when you just started and how did you start it. All that in the comment section. Let's talk about it. All right guys, bye.